Hey little misfits and mayhem makers, I'm going to show you how to take that gorgeous little top you made for the dress, Simplicity 2247, and marry it da, 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 with your skirts. And one little thing I want to point out, and this will happen to you a lot, I won't lie. You see the pretty back of the skirt I made here? How all the seams are on the inside. Well, my pretties, what's wrong with this picture? Can you see it? Right there. I actually sewed this skirt with the seam on the wrong side of the fabric. And this happens about 4 times every project. And you say, son of a bitch, and you rip it out. So get used to that. So basically what you want to do here is find the back of the bodice, or the back of the skirt first. Here's my back center seam. Here's the whole skirt. Ta-da! Here's my back center seam. I want to take my skirt and I want to flop it inside out. Yay! Once it's inside out, get orientated. That's my word. Yeah, I'm all disorientated. This is the tricky part. You're supposed to know this when you flip it over. I know that there are 2 notches. Oh, there they are. 2 notches on the center back seam. So I found it again. Here's my center back seam again. With it flipped around. Take your bodice. Find its center back seam. And there's no center front seam on this, so pretty darn easy to find that center back seam. Take him with his right side out, and I don't know why this is a he. We'll call the skirt a she then. And you put him inside the skirt. Just like that, inside of it. So the right sides are facing each other inside the skirt. You line up that center back seam. There are 2 notches. Don't know if you can see this. There are 2 notches that YouTube won't let you see because it ruins them. You want to match them up, but more importantly, you want to match up the center back seams inside here. See how they're matched up? And go ahead and pin those so they're matched up. And pin them perpendicular. This is a silly word, isn't it? Perpendicular to the seam line. The seam line is going to run right here. And then pin perpendicular to it. So then find your center front. I know on my bodice there is no center front, so, well, there's a center front. There's always a center front. There's no seam to line up. So it gets trickier. So what I do, since you can't really find that center front, match up those 2 princess seams on the front. I have a seam here on this side and a seam here on this side. In between them is my center front. So go ahead and match those up right on the seam line. It's tricky. Tricky, 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 tricky. Pin it up like that. And find the other princess seam over here. Line it up. Pin it. So now you have princess seams in the front lined up and pinned. Go ahead and pin in between. Now there are 2 little marks here that are supposed to line up, but you know, there's no reason for there to be any puckers or gathers in this. So if you hold these two ends taut together like this and pin it, it'll be just fine. Don't obsess about the little marks not matching up because life's messy. So as long as your seams match up, that's what matters. So go ahead, turn it around, and do the same thing you did on the front with the back, with the two back princess seams. Match them up. It's hard for you to see what I'm doing. Pin those perpendicular to where you're going to sew. Same with this guy on this side. Pick him up. And you're supposed to pin with this flat on the table. And I'm being bad girl and just holding it up while I pin because I want you to see. Then all you got left to match up is your side seams. Flip it around to the side, and they better be close to each other or you got problems. So match those up, pin perpendicular, find the other little guy, match him up, and pin perpendicular to the seam. Now this is my muslin, so it's not perfect. So when you hold this up like this, your bodice and your skirt are facing each other, right sides are facing each other. And you're just going to sew all around the whole thing in 5/8 seam. And then the fun part comes and you can try it on. I'm going to do that and I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'll be right back.